Now, if you're learning to handstand, this video is for you. So the goal obviously is to get into a freestanding hold, be able to move around, not fall out of it, be able to take that and to go into things like presses, handstand push-ups and other cool movements, but we need to have that balance down and sorted first. So what we're going to go through today is the back to wall balance drills that I think everyone who's learning to handstand should be doing. And those of you that already have a freestanding handstand, you need to just double check you can do these 3 things to pull away from the wall and show control. If you can't, you need to work on the ones you can't do, and it's going to improve your balance and allow you to play around with cool things in the freestanding handstand much easier. So let's just run through some basics first. So make sure you're warmed up, make sure your wrists are nice and happy. We're going to place the hands on the floor and the shoulders on top of the hands. I'm going to push the floor away. So a nice strong base. I'm going to look down towards the floor, somewhere between my thumb and my index finger. I'm going to lock those positions in so my base is very, very stable. I'm going to kick up on top of that base and kiss the wall. Now we want to be able to do that for repetitions. We want to be able to do that and hold for time. And ideally, we're going to have rep to rep consistency. So every time you set up in the same way, and then you get the same result. Now let's start looking at the balance drills. So the first one we normally start with is the fingertips. So using the fingers to pull ourselves off the wall. Remember, when we're using the wall, we don't want to be pushing off of the wall. We want to use our body to pull away from the wall. This is controlling the overbalance when I go towards my back when I'm in a handstand. Now, if I stand like this, turn the hat around, place my head on the wall, I can pull myself easily off the wall using my toes. So now we want the same effect when we're in the handstand and we use our fingers to pull our heels away from the wall. Now this doesn't work if I do this with the body. So we need the body to stay as one piece. So glutes and abs on just enough, so when I push through the toes, I can take myself towards the wall very slowly and I can pull myself off the wall just using the toes. So the same thing in the handstand, we want to kick up to the wall, show control, squeeze the legs together, make sure the body's one piece, push through the fingers until my heels come off the wall, relax the fingers, go back to the wall. Now we want to be able to do this for repetitions first. Once we can do it for reps, we can play around with time. So I can pull away, hold for 2 seconds, go back to the wall, pull off, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, go back to the wall, double it again. Once we can do that, we can build that up to 20, 30 seconds, and that's really showing control. But that's only one method that I'm using to get off the wall, using the fingertips. Another method is to use the shoulders. So I'm actually going to change the position of the shoulders to pull my heels away from the wall. So watch what happens. So exactly the same setup, hands on the floor, focal point, kick up, kiss the wall. I'm on the wall now. I'm now going to take the shoulders further away from the wall. Now there'll be a certain point where there's not enough weight the other side of my body and it pulls my heels off the wall. The downside of that one is I tend to fall this way too fast and I fall down. So when learning this one, we need to do 2 things. We want to move a little bit further away from the wall so we have more time, but as soon as our feet come off the wall, we want to change the energy. Instead of going that direction, we want to change the energy to going up. So watch what happens. I'm going to make my body taller this time. So a little bit further away from the wall, use the shoulders to pull away, heels come off, and then as soon as the heels come off, I push up and I start to take the shoulders back to their home position. Then I can use the shoulders again to go back towards the wall. Shoulders off, pulls the heels, push up into handstand, shoulders go back again. So that's going towards things like, if you've heard of it, like a Mexican handstand or a hollow back handstand. And definitely if you're working those things, you could go further and further away from the wall, but that's seen as more of an intermediate skill. Today I want you to focus on the balance aspect. So I can balance the handstand and go into that position and take the shoulders in that direction. Now if I'm a bit more advanced, I could do exactly the same thing, but start in the handstand. So start in the handstand, take the shoulders in the opposite direction, try and take my feet to the wall, kiss the wall, and then pull back again to my handstand. So obviously that one's a lot harder because I need to have that control in the freestanding handstand first and then move towards the wall and pull back again. Okay, next we have a similar one, but I'm going to use the shoulders again, but this time I'm going to take the shoulders in the opposite direction and I'm going to banana the body or scorpion the body away from the wall. My feet might come down and I might actually make myself a bit shorter in this position, but exactly the same thing is going to happen. It's going to drag my legs away from the wall. Watch what happens. So I kick up to the wall, my normal position. This time I take the shoulders to the wall. See how I'm pulling my body into a banana or an arch or towards a scorpion handstand. And if I keep going, it pulls my toes off the wall. If I keep going too far, I'm going to fall down like I did before. So what I want to do is, as soon as the toes come off, I can either hold that position, so embrace the banana handstand, or embrace the scorpion handstand if I'm aiming towards that, or ideally to start with, you push up into your freestanding handstand, your straighter position. So exactly the same, heels against the wall, I pull away, slide down the wall, shoulders come towards the wall, body arches till the toes come off, and then I push up into handstand, and then I can go back again to the wall. Another cool way of training this is to slowly bring your hands further and further away from the wall and just focus on pulling your heels away from the wall and ending up in a handstand. As you get further and further away, you're going to start to use more and more of the shoulders. So if I start very close to the wall and pull away and go into handstand, I just use the fingers and go back. If I come down, go further away from the wall, I can use fingers, but the shoulders are now pulling a little bit further away from the wall. Come back further away again. Now I'm using fingers, but notice the shoulders are pulling me away, and then I push up. So that's forcing me to start to use the shoulders just because of the distance I'm getting away from the wall, and I'm having to reach to find the wall with the heels. So it's already put me in that slight banana position. Depending on where my flexibility and control is, I'm going to choose to take the shoulders forwards or backwards. And it's not a right or a wrong way. Basically, we're just trying to increase the distance, the window of balance for our overbalance. So if I'm in a handstand, how far can I go with my feet in this direction before I fall or before I touch the wall? So that's overbalance. Now this one can be a little bit confusing when you're first starting out, so just play around with pulling away from the wall. Think you're not using the wall, so make sure you're not pushing off the wall with your feet. Now obviously that's only one side of the handstand. We should also be working toe pulls, so chest to wall, pulling away from the wall. It's slightly harder than the heel pull variation, but recommend that everyone does that because we want to create that window of balance and strengthen both sides of the handstand. So I'll link to the toe pull video up here. Both of these chest to wall and back to wall drills can be a little bit confusing to start with, so if you do have any questions, stick them down in the comments below. Let me know if you have any other questions about handstands or bodyweight strength or flexibility. Thumbs up and subscribe will be appreciated, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks guys.